Hello and welcome to today's video. I'm looking at the loomis method of how to draw a face and how we can structure that face and project it onto a drawing. So let's get straight into the video and have a look what we're doing. Right, I've got this image up on Critter, which is a photo editing and painting program. What I want to do is structure the face. And show where certain parts of the face should be. I've already gone ahead and done that because we're not here to look at how to use this program. So I'll put the layer up that has that structure in, and I'm just going to bring that down, the opacity, so that you can see it. And as you can see, it's basically a circle that I've cut into quarters, and they coincide with basic parts of the face. Now this system is a version of what's called the loomis drawing style. So we're going to use that as a roadmap to drawing out with a pencil an accurate drawing of this painting. So let's just have a quick look at what it looks like when we take the photograph away. So we have now everything we need to go ahead and transfer that to a drawing. Now I'm going to draw that out, but if you want to print something like that out once you've drawn it, then that's another way of getting that accurate drawing onto your substrate. Just to show you that you can take the digital side of this a lot farther, an example, I've got this one partly done as a digital painting. So obviously you've got your blank page, you've got your drawing that you created from your original photo, a more complicated drawing, and then you've got some shading, and then some colouring, and a bit more tonal detail, and you can keep going on like that. I will work at this painting and keep going at it. So let's go on to the actual drawing part, which I'm going to explain a lot more about. Right, we're at the point where we can start transferring the image that we did digitally, the reference, over onto the actual paper and draw it there. Before we do that, basically all we're going to need, just in case I make a mess, a rubber, although you do need that to rub out if you're going to be rendering the artwork later, and one of these pencils. It can be any pencil, I just thought I'd use that for a change. So that's his equipment: paper, pencil, rubber. Right, what we want to do is get an orientation, and I'm going to do it front centre here. I'm going to bring a line, and I'm not too bothered about it being wibbly wobbly. The reference isn't perfect, so why should we need to do a perfect line? And if you notice from the reference, there's a big circle, and even that isn't perfect, so let's just draw a circle like that. Bring that up a bit farther. It is ever so slightly in the reference leaning in that kind of direction, which is roughly where that is. So next what we need to do is imagine like a square like that. So I've got that line there. I'm going to go a shape like that, and to follow suit with that, we're going to just come to that side like that, and to that side like that, and this side about the same distance in the middle, and go like that. And that will find us our centre in three-dimensional space. But what we can now do is go across here. We're looking for the centre for that now. So we've got that line. Now just as you can see on the reference, about, it's just above, about, if you can see that little triangle, it's going to be exactly the same there as well. So we'll put a mark there, and that's another important line. Although on this particular person, that line that would go there is a lot lower down, so I'm going to drop that down to about there. So we've got quite a few key lines in there. So let's come back to here. Now that's where the start of the nose is, so we can come down roughly at an angle. Just bring it down like that, and that's, it won't go any farther than that because that's where the end of the nose is. So we've got a rough idea where the nose is going to be. So roughly in the centre of that, just put another line there, and we're going to do a circle that goes like that. And all I'm doing is I'm copying what I've created earlier, this framework. If we come back to this line here, project that down a little bit, and then follow that line there and connect that up, there's your jaw. Now you don't, at this particular angle for this side, you don't see an awful lot of the other side of the face, but that links up there. So we're starting to actually get quite a bit of the face here. So this part of the nose here points up quite a bit there. You see quite a bit. I think we're slightly underneath the person when the photo is being taken on the reference originally. So you're seeing quite a bit of the nose, which is unusual, but there's the nose. Now that's roughly about half, right? Between there and there I want another halfway point, and that is where the mouth will sit. And generally it depends on the actual person themselves, but if you split that off into 2/3, the bottom part of the lip goes there, and the top part is bigger and thicker there. We've got the bit that goes there, and then we can start concentrating on the eye socket area. So at this point here, which we've got a reference to, we can start curving it, and that will go all the way to there. So we can go like that, let it go up a bit, and bring that round. Now in this particular person, the eye line is there right through the centre. Normally that would be where the place where the bottom of the eye sits, but because we're looking at a strange angle, it's slightly different in height. So what we need to do is half of that again. That will get you to your top lid, and then half of one of that, which is about there, brings the full size of the eye. And it goes below that line up to the centre. You can't really see the full of the eye at this side. In fact, that will fade off to some extent. Like that. So we've got a slight line that we can take from there, and we can also project that as well. But it's the same process as we've just done. Now in this case again, the eye, it goes to there, the end of that eye, and for some weird reason it don't look as though it goes up that eye at this side. It seems to be more based below the line there. And you'll find this with every drawing of every person. There's going to be odd adjustments that you need to make. So that actually makes this eyebrow, which comes about there and rolls over to that side. I'll draw that so you can see it okay. Slightly lower than what it would normally be, but it's a really strange angle, this actual. I might have done it with a different image had I have thought about it. So now we can say centre of that, centre of that, and generally that comes to about there like that. You know if you're right because it comes out like that. Right, another thing that we can look at is that point there where neck goes, because we've got that definite point. We can go like that, and that's basically a circle. Once you've got to this stage, you can once you've got most of the structure right, you can eyeball it really, and we've got a point there that comes almost to about that point, so that's where part of your hair is, and that comes out, yeah, about there, and then opposite side, that goes to about there, and women have quite a lot of volume at their hair there, so let's get plenty of volume in, and then just get the eyes in. And as you can see, we've got a good basis now for getting, obviously it will need refining and then details correcting, but that has given us a good setup for the face. So what you would then go on to do is obviously the detailing work around the eyes and that, and all the tonal value pencil work, or this may be transferred to another piece of paper for a painting, and maybe that's what we'll do next. The next time we look at this, we'll take it from this point and render it with detail and tonal value work. So this is how I use the Lumix method from a reference on the computer that I map out, and then I transfer that reference to a drawing that then is either transferred to the painting or completed as a complete drawing on the artwork paper itself. Have a go at it, it's real fun, and once you get used to the actual positionings of people's face, you can be able to do quite a bit of very accurate drawing. So thank you for your time, enjoy your art, and we'll see you next time. Bye.